The Honorable Dr. Edmund Mansour, Minister of State with responsibilities for telecommunications, science and technology. Mr. Mark Bullen, Commonwealth of Learning, Education Specialist, e-learning. Hara Paddy, I hope I've gotten that correct, Regional Advisor on Communication and Information for the Caribbean UNESCO Kingston Cluster Office. Mr. Neil Butcher, Workshop Facilitator, Education Administrators and Technical Officers within the Ministry of Information and Education, former Principal of the Antigua State College, Ms. Pachita Spencer, welcome. Educators, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a warm welcome to those visiting our shores, those for the first time and those are repeated visitors, and a pleasant good morning to those serving in our education and technology sectors gathered here at the beautiful Jolly Beach Resort. Open educational resources have become an unstoppable development since the Massachusetts Institute of Technology started publishing freely available educational resources online in 2001. This is the view of Anchor Mulder, an open courseware expert. Others, however, have expressed some concerns as to the role of educational institutions, particularly colleges and universities, as an increasing number of educational materials are offered online freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning, and research. Simply put, some wonder whether in a world where free access to educational material is the norm, if educational institutions will only be left with the responsibility to issue certificates. I would not attempt to get into a long debate on that matter this morning. But when we consider the value of education and the need to access to education by all, regardless of color, creed, gender, economic or social status, I believe we all agree that stakeholders must adjust in the interest of human development. The need to maximize human development should be enough to support the concept of open access to information for development purposes at a minimum. Therefore, governments, and in particular ministries of education, information and technology, along with learning institutions such as schools, colleges, and universities, must resist the natural urge to hoard information. Rather, we must look for new ways to meet the growing demands for education by the populace. In other words, instead of taking the view that open educational resources are counterproductive, they should be seen as part of the solution to addressing the educational gaps which exist in many populations across the globe. I see a greater need for educational institutions to produce more open educational resources. This should result in the improvement of existing educational materials and provide greater access to materials for lifelong learners who are often challenged to take formal educational opportunities. I give the assurance that our government takes its role in enhancing the educational delivery and bridging the digital divide very seriously. As we speak, there are hundreds of tertiary scholarships, many of which are fully paid for, being accessed by Antiguans and Barbudans in countries across the globe and through online modalities. Hundreds of teachers across our Twin Island nation are using their computer laptops, which are issued through the Ministry of Technology, Ministry of Education initiative in collaboration with the corporate sponsorship of LIME, Scores and soon hundreds of students are using and will be using their tablets via high-speed internet access under the GATE project, which is yet another Ministry of Technology, Ministry of Education initiative made possible through the generous corporate support of Digicel. An increasing number of ICT laboratories, including high-speed internet access in a number of schools and communities, is transforming how we do business in education. The vision of many years ago to transform education through the use of ICTs is certainly a reality. As the transformation takes place, however, we must ensure that we put in place the necessary policies to guide the process. This is important if we are to achieve the ultimate goal of increasing access to education as well as maintaining quality content. The delivery of such content must be in keeping with the high standards that the Caribbean education system is known for. At the end of the day, we must bear in mind the commitment of the Caribbean community to work towards producing the ideal Caribbean person, who, in this context, will be one who believes in education, self-improvement, and hard work. Indeed, I believe that all gathered here will agree that free sharing of educational resources has its benefits. I am, however, convinced that we must work together to ensure we manage the process of change carefully. Some mechanisms will become outdated. Others will emerge. Some of us will have to consider career changes. Others will be a part of the process to create new careers. Whatever position we may find ourselves in, let us determine to take the necessary steps to move forward. I extend on behalf of our government, and in particular, the Ministry of Education, Sports, Youth, and Gender Affairs, our sincerest appreciation to the Commonwealth of Learning and UNESCO for providing technical and other assistance for the 2 workshops which will be held in Antigua and Barbuda this week. The Open Educational Resource Country Policy Development Workshop over the next 2 days, and the ICT Competence Framework for Teachers Workshop on March 20th and 21st are important since they support the government's policy to link education and technology to form an important pillar in this, our nation building. It is therefore no longer a luxury to marry both sectors. It is a reality. We are gathered here as part of this reality. Let us keep this process alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I extend best wishes to all for a successful conference. Thank you.